Hi everyone, and welcome to today's MNA member orientation webinar. Thank you so much for being with us today. My name is Sarah Pinder. I'm the Engagement Director here, and looking forward to sharing with you today a little bit more about your MNA benefits and how you can access them. We will be going quickly through the information, but please know that we're always here as a resource. And we're happy to answer questions during or after the webinar and to help you get a better sense of, my hope is that this webinar today helps you get a better sense of what's available to you and how to access it. If you don't remember at all the instructions, that's okay. Like I said, we're here to help and follow up after the webinar. We're also recording this webinar, so it'll be available on our website, and we'll tell you where to find that during today's presentation, so you can view the webinar at a later date or even share it with some of your employees. If you're here as a new member of MNA, welcome. Thank you so much for your support. We look forward to working with you. If you are here as maybe someone who's not yet a member, that's okay too. It'll give you a really good sense of what benefits are available to you. I'd encourage you to use the question box or the chat function throughout the webinar to ask questions. We will try to address those questions throughout and or at the end of the webinar. And my colleague Mario is here today. He'll be providing some back-end support and be responding to your questions via that chat box. So we'll go ahead and get started. Again, welcome to MNA. MNA was incorporated in 1990. We serve more than 1,000 member organizations throughout the state of Michigan. We do that through capacity building, civic engagement, and public policy. All three of those areas you will definitely learn more about today. As I mentioned, my name is Sarah. That's my picture there in the middle of this slide. And my title is Engagement Director, meaning I work with members to help connect you with your resources, just like we're doing today. Bill Gesseman is our Strategic Growth Officer, and he's also available to connect with nonprofits. And I mentioned my colleague Mario, who is in the room today.
Hello, everyone.
And is helping with questions, but will also be giving part of the presentation so that you don't have to listen to me for 30 minutes straight. Our contact information is also on the website. I'll show you where to find that. And so don't feel like you have to scribble all that down real fast. As I mentioned, one of the ways that MNA serves the nonprofit sector is through public policy and advocacy. We do that by focusing on policy issues that affect the full sector. These might be things like tax policy, budget and spending, and public and private collaborations. Joan Gustafson is our External Affairs Officer and is our guru on policy-related items within the office. She loves to talk with nonprofits to see what it is they're experiencing and would be happy to speak with you if you have questions about public policy and advocacy or maybe are experiencing a particular situation with your organization right now. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and click over to the MNA website, which is where we're going to spend the majority of our time today. I will tell you about one other initiative that MNA currently has going on as I click over and make this change. We are currently in the process of collecting data for the 2019 Nonprofit Compensation and Benefits Report. This is a very neat publication, very helpful publication to nonprofits. We'll tell you a little bit more about the publication today, but the first step in it is always to get nonprofits in the state of Michigan to fill out the survey that provides the information that can be included in this report. As you can see up here on the home screen, there's a click here to complete the survey. We would encourage you to do that. It's going to ask about wages that you pay your employees, even how many vacation days they get, what other benefits do you offer your employees. And again, the more data that we receive in this part of the portion, the better the report will be. Plus, as a member, you'll really have great financial savings on the actual report when it's debuted in January 2019. You'll save about $150 if you, in fact, participated in the report, or excuse me, in the survey period. The deadline is October 12th, so please think about that in the next couple days if you're able to complete that survey. All right, so for today's webinar, I'm going to show you a lot. Mario and I are both going to show you a lot on the website. And we're going to spend most of our time over here under membership and nonprofit resources, but we're going to come back to that because what I'm actually going to do is start over on the right side. I would encourage you, anytime you visit the MNA website, the first thing that you should do is to log in. You can do that using the member login link on the top right. Membership usernames and passwords are automatically issued to the primary and secondary user on your organization's account. If that's not you, you could check with those people in your organization and or get in contact with us for access. There's a couple different ways that nonprofits can give access to the website. They can share their username and password among various staff, or they can set up individual accounts, which you can do from the back end of your dashboard. If you don't know what your information is, you can use the forgot username and forgot password links here. There's also some helpful web videos underneath that can help you troubleshoot any issues that you're having. So once you put in your username and password, you log in, and this is what you will see. You will see the member dashboard. Over here on the left, there's some easy links that help you get around. Membership details will bring you to information about your organization. So if you need to update any of that, like address, your mission statement, etc. Also, toward the bottom of this page, if you are an administrator on your account, you will see other people who have login information for your account, and you can easily manage that, whether you have staff coming in or out, that you might need to edit those preferences for. Also over here on the left, there's a link for MNA member discount codes. If you purchase any of our publications or sign up for any of our events, you will need a discount code, and this is where you can find them. Also, the edit login profile link on the left, that will allow you to change your username and password. I'd encourage you to change it to something that you will remember so that it's easy to remember and log into the site. So just a few links that are easy to get to from the member dashboard. And again, I encourage you when you come to the site to go ahead and log in so that you're all ready to go when you're accessing your member benefits. So I'm going to start over here on the right side of the website under who we are and show you, as I mentioned, we do have a staff page. All of the staff's emails and phone numbers are listed here. So if you are looking to reach out, I would encourage you to reach out to someone directly. If they're not the right person, they can certainly assist you and will send your request on to whomever it is that can help you the best. Also under that Who We Are tab is the Get Connected menu. This is where you can make sure that you're connecting with MNA in the best way possible. Scroll down a little bit, you'll see that we have presence on social media. We're active on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I would encourage you to follow us on any one of those social media sites if that's your preference and how you receive information. Also below that, I would encourage you to sign up for our e-newsletters. Again, if you're the primary or secondary account person on the account, you will automatically be signed up for the My Nonprofit News. But if not, I'd encourage you to use this button here and sign up for the e-newsletters. The My Nonprofit News is our most general e-newsletter and goes out twice a month on Friday mornings. We also have public policy action alerts. These are sent only when we are requesting nonprofits take action. But if you're interested in learning more about public policy, that's a great way to stay in the know. Our nonprofit job center email we will talk about in just a minute. And then Michigan Campus Compact is another group that we work with. So feel free to sign up for those e-newsletters depending on where your interest lies. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Mario, and he's going to talk a little bit about M&A's technology services.
Thanks, Sarah. One of the ways M&A serves the nonprofit sector is through our technology services. The team at M&A Tech is very knowledgeable and personable. If you happen to be the accidental techie at your office, and you maybe don't want to continue being that sole resource, or there is a need for something tech-related, please consider reaching out to M&A Tech. They assist with things like technology planning, managing servers, and various other technology-related items. The team is extremely helpful and can even be reached via a direct hotline for those unexpected problems that spring up around the office. More details can be found under the Technology Services tab on our website, right here. Now back to Sarah to review our civic engagement piece.
Thanks, Mario. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, one of the ways that M&A serves the nonprofit sector is through civic and community engagement. We do that a few different ways. We do offer a AmeriCorps Vista program to about 30 vistas throughout the state every year. They're in various host sites, nonprofits like yours that are doing great work and helping to build those communities. So you can read more about this. There's definitely more information about our work there. What I want to highlight right now is our work with Census 2020. This is a large campaign that is obviously starting a couple years before the census in 2020. But it's really important work, and nonprofits are especially well positioned to help with this work because very often what happens in census is there are undercounted populations. Very often those undercounted populations are communities of color, elderly people, young people, and other different types of vulnerable populations. It's really important for Michigan to get a full and accurate count in Census 2020. It affects both our representation at the federal level, but also financial resources that are coming into the state for the next 10 years after 2020. So M&A is leading this campaign, but we're ultimately looking for great nonprofit partners in community to help us spread the word and make sure that we're getting a fair and accurate count on Census 2020. So it's exciting work, and we look forward to connecting with a lot of nonprofits through that really on-the-ground work. Now I'm going to click over to research and publications. This is where we share with you some of our publications that we have available. The first one is my favorite one to talk about. It's the Michigan Nonprofit Management Manual. This manual covers lots of different topics such as fundraising, governance, record keeping, human resources, etc. It's absolutely a go-to desktop resource for the nonprofit manager. I really like it because it has an easy-to-use table of contents and index and will help you answer a lot of common nonprofit questions. As a member, you receive a discounted rate of $75 for this resource. Non-members would pay $95. And again, very, very good resource. This is the first thing I reference when somebody asks me a question about nonprofit management. It's very useful and it's easy to understand because actual nonprofit practitioners created it and wrote it in easy to understand language. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll also see the 2017-18 compensation and benefits report. This is what I was just discussing, although the previous version of it. Once we get the survey data, which again is what I mentioned is happening now, and the deadline is October 12th. Once we get that data, we're able to crunch some numbers and reproduce it in a report like this. This report contains 74 different positions commonly found in nonprofits. The study provides that information back to you about what positions are, how much position is paid, maybe what they receive in benefits, etc. A lot of nonprofits will use this when they're hiring. It's a great resource for job seekers. Also, if you've got to answer that question of your expected salary range. And people will even use it when they have to complete the nonprofit 990 tax form. It provides really great justification for certain salaries that you have to report as part of that 990 form. So great data. You're welcome to still buy this report. The new report will be debuted in January 2019, and that's what we need the survey data for. So if you're able to fill out the survey, please do so. An introduction to working in Michigan's nonprofit sector, that's a great document, especially if you're maybe new to the nonprofits. Provide some basic information, but lots of information available there too. These ones that I'm kind of scrolling quickly through are free resources. I'd encourage you to look that up. Look at what all those are. They have lots of different topics. I wanted to scroll down here and get to MNA links. This is our quarterly membership publication. It's focused on topics and trends and things that are happening in the nonprofit sector. You, as a member, will receive this mailed to you at your organization. There's also an archive here on the website if you want to look at previous issues. We do 3 of these a year, and then the 4th one that comes out is our annual report. Principles and Practices is another great resource. It's a good benchmarking tool for your organization to ensure that you're doing the things that we think make for really great nonprofits. There's a couple different ways to access that, but you can download it for free here. We also have a Michigan primer on nonprofit advocacy. If you're ever interested in advocacy, this is a great place to start. It's really Nonprofit Advocacy 101. Nonprofits can advocate. We want you to. We think that's a great way to use your influence in a community. And then also there's a giving guide that was done in partnership with the Attorney General in Michigan. So lots of resources here on the research and publications page. So scrolling back up to the top of the page, I'm going to click into the Public Policy and Advocacy menu. As we mentioned, this is one way that Michigan Nonprofit Association serves the nonprofit sector, and you can learn a lot about our efforts here on the Public Policy page. I will point out, if you go into down the menu a little bit, we do help manage the Michigan Nonprofit Caucus. This is bipartisan and bicameral group, meaning both Republicans and Democrats from the House and the Senate in Michigan that are specifically focused on nonprofit issues. So you can see a little bit more about them there. You can scroll down a little further to see our legislative agenda for this year and see which issues that we're monitoring. And finally, if you're in the Southeast Michigan area, via your membership with MNA, you can be a part of the Southeast Michigan Public Policy Council, and you can learn a little bit more about this group here. They specifically work on nonprofit-related policy issues, but also that have a geographic focus of Southeast Michigan. Excuse me. All right. So now I'm going to continue over and go to membership, but first on the docket is the Nonprofit Job Center, and Mario is going to share with us a little bit more about that resource.
Thanks again, Sarah. Under the Membership tab, you can find our Nonprofit Job Center. This is one of our most frequently used resources. There are a few different ways you can interact with the Job Center. One way is by browsing what jobs are currently available in the Michigan nonprofit sector by clicking on the Current Job Posting tab. Here, you can then sort by category and narrow it down to the desired search parameters of which you are looking. It is also great for a nonprofit leader who is looking to hire someone within the state of Michigan. Just click on the submission form, which I'm going to have to go back for that, under the Job Center tab to complete the job posting. The rates are $75 for a single 30-day posting for MNA members and $165 for non-members with a logo included. We strongly encourage you to post any openings with our Job Center. Another way you can engage with the Job Center is by getting signed up for the weekly email blast that goes out every Friday morning with the most current postings submitted to MNA. It's a great resource to stay up to date on positions available if you're a job seeker. You can sign up for the e-newsletter by clicking on the Get Connected tab under the Who We Are tab and getting signed up that way. Our email blast reaches around 6,000 subscribers each week, and our Job Center gets about 18,000 page views a month, which is a great way to market your opportunities to our online audience. Which is a great way to market with our online audience.
Thanks, Mario. We'll share a little bit more about some of the other member benefits now. So under, again, I said nonprofit resources, that's where we're going right now. As you can tell from the top, there's always a featured benefit listed up here. Right now it's the compensation and benefits report. I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. And down below, I'm going to show you a little bit about Grantstation. This is one of your biggest MNA member benefits, so I'd encourage you to use it. It's an online grants database that you can search for grant opportunities. You do have to come through MNA's website in order to gain that free access to the benefit. You'll know you've done that correctly when you come to their page and it says Welcome Michigan Nonprofit Association at the top. They have a lot of information and really great educational materials, so I encourage you to look around their website and see what's available to you. But their main function is this searchable grants database. So under Find Grant Makers, I generally choose the grant database for U.S. charitable giving. And as you can see, they give you some tips and tricks over on the left. Over here on the right is how you narrow down your search results. So I'm going to choose Michigan as the geographic scope. And fair warning, this updates in real time, so it looks a little clunky when you're demonstrating it. But I want to show you. So areas of interest, I'm going to choose arts, cultures, and humanities. This is just what I'm doing as an example. Obviously, you would choose whatever applies most to your organization. And then maybe any one of these I can put a search parameter on, but maybe I want to choose type of support and say that I'm looking for general operating support. So when that updates, you can see I've entered in all of these search criteria over here on the right. And what I have on here on the left is I have 55 results that meet that search criteria. You can see all different information about the funders. Now, when you get this list, the next thing I would encourage you to do is click on that funder, because then you get even more information. So I chose and clicked on Bank of America Charitable Foundation. You can see the type of thing they get proposals for. You can see their contact information over here. You can see how much they give annually, $163 million. That's wonderful. And a lot more information about that funder. So that is just a wealth of information available to you with some really great search capabilities. So if you're not familiar with Grantstation, absolutely check it out. You can work with your search parameters to narrow it down so you didn't have to look at 55 results. There is just a lot of possibility when it comes to Grantstation. Alrighty, so Going back to the nonprofit resources page, another opportunity to find grants is through the foundation directory online. As a member, you receive a 15% discount on the subscription service. You can check out more information there. Finance Unlocked for Nonprofits is a series of web videos that were created by our sister state association out in Washington State. And they are a 6-part video series. It's really Nonprofit Finance 101. And it's a mixture of, it's an improv actor and a CPA that do these videos. They're actually pretty entertaining. So I suggest that people might want to use that when they're onboarding new board members, maybe even new staff members that just need to know the basics about nonprofit finance. It's a great free resource that's available to you. We also offer credit card processing discounts through Card Connect. Scrolling down from there, we also offer lots of opportunities for free and discounted education. You can click here to see the discounted or free events on our events calendar. That's also linked from the front page of the website. So check out the events calendar when you have a few minutes and see what's coming up. We also have the recorded webinar archive. As I mentioned, we will be putting up this recording from today's webinar. So you can check that out. Also, all of these recordings on the bottom are available for free, so you may find some in there from previous times, but that are still really relevant and contain information that is helpful to you. MNA recently released our Diversity, Inclusion, and Equity Assessment. This is a way to gauge how your organization is doing through the eyes of your staff and board members in the areas of diversity, inclusion, and equity. Happy to share any more about this, or if you click through that link, you will see more about the assessment here on the web page. I do manage that, so if you're interested in learning more, please reach out and I'd be happy to share with you. MindEdge is an online learning opportunity for your staff and board members. These are courses. They are available for 10% off to members. They're very affordable and cover all different topics such as budgeting, fundraising, grant writing, etc. They range anywhere from $79 to $150, and they're an online course that I believe is available to you for 30 days after purchase. We also have some common nonprofit document templates in our library. As you'll see, I was briefly off the site for Grantstation, so I am going to re-log in to show you the document library. The documents on the library are all various types of things. We do have a large resource for volunteer engagement, but there's things about financial management, fundraising, governance, etc. So check out the document library for additional resources there. So going back to the nonprofit resources page, I am noticing that I'm right up against 3:30. I probably have about 7 more minutes of content. I apologize for running a little bit over. If you're able to hang around, that would be great. If not, you now know where to find the recorded webinar on the website, so we encourage you to take a look at that. We also offer higher education discounts from all campus. That's another online opportunity for you. Scrolling down from there, principles and practices, or principles for good governance and ethical practice. This is a resource that again kind of lays out what we think nonprofits should be doing to be the best possible organizations they can be. And this is from our partners in a national organization called Independent Sector. It's available for free to download if you're interested in that. We already talked about the management manual and links, so I'm going to continue down further there. As you can see by the next row, we partner with some of the largest largest educational institutions in the state to offer you discounts. University of Michigan Dearborn offers 20% off a tuition for members of MNA. Oakland University offers a 25% discount on their nonprofit management certificate. And MSU, through the Executive MBA program, offers 2 scholarships for 50% of the cost of an MBA each year. The member benefit that's available to you is that if you're interested in that program, they will waive the application fee for you. So lots to learn about there. As you can see, it continues even in the next row. We do partner with Davenport University, which is a 20% discount, as well as New Horizons, which offers computer learning opportunities as well. And you receive 10 to 20% off at New Horizons. So the next chart, or the next section on our chart there, is about managing HR. Nonstop Wellness is a new opportunity for nonprofits. This is aimed at the larger nonprofits with 50-plus employees partaking in benefits, but it is a more affordable way to offer and self-fund employee health care. Definitely a unique program if you're in that situation and looking for a resource. Definitely check out Nonstop Wellness, and you can learn more by clicking there. Mario already told us about the Job Center, and we've talked about the Compensation and Benefits Report. Constellation Hr is a performance compensation management system. It is something that MNA uses internally, and we've had pretty good luck with so far. It helps you manage all those employee goals as well as employee reviews, etc. So definitely take a few minutes to check out Constellation Hr. They did provide us with some really great educational webinars about a year ago, and that can be great information to just learn more via those webinars as well. Verified Volunteers is a discounted background check service. MNA members receive a 20% discount. The difference between Verified Volunteers and maybe what you're currently using is they allow sharing among community organizations. So a volunteer with Girl Scouts could also share their background check with the local school district if they volunteered both places. It also puts a little bit more control in the volunteers' hands, as well as using that as a fundraising opportunity if that's something your organization is interested in. I already talked a little bit about diversity and inclusion. Director and officer liability, we work with Lyman and Sheets. So that is something your organization should definitely have, and encourage you to look there for more. We've also talked a little bit about technology. N10 is the nonprofit technology network, and you are entitled to a year's worth of membership with N10, which includes things like money off of their conference, educational webinar opportunities, and specifically tech nonprofit job postings. So if you're interested in N10, you can definitely find out more information there. All right, to take us through the end of the program, and I apologize I didn't leave you with much time, Mario, but he's going to go through the rest of this chart here.
Thanks, Sarah. So as you may know, MNA offers 3 types of memberships: nonprofit, business, or consultant, and career development. Because of this, we have a variety of businesses, both small and large, that are part of our grander statewide network. One of your featured MNA benefits is complete access to our business marketplace directory, found here, which is a great resource for nonprofits seeking specific services from those who are experts in the sector. Excuse me. This online database can connect your organization with independent contractors or firms that are looking to serve your needs. Please note, we strongly suggest that you still perform your own due diligence before hiring or contracting any of the businesses or consultants found through this search. But this is also a great valued resource that comes with your M&A benefits. Much like the great business marketplace tool, the nonprofit member directory also collects the information for organizations that are statewide within our network. Through this resource, you can make additional connections and potentially collaborate on joint efforts or projects in your region. As you can see, the directory also allows you to change certain search criteria to fit what it is you're looking for, such as county and what kind of organization. Additionally, if you're a nonprofit leader seeking to reach some of our business members with specific needs, the Request for Proposals feature found here, or otherwise known as RFP distribution, can be a lucrative resource for making more connections within M&A. Just complete the short form, and your submission will then be distributed to a magnitude of businesses and consultant members who have identified services in the area of your inquiry. And if you click on this, it'll open a new submission form, and you can go ahead and complete that and submit it, and it'll be sent out. One last thing, second to the last wonderful M&A benefits that we're addressing here is the Trusted and Partners and Resources Guide. This document resource opens to a new tab and provides contact information for some of our most trusted partners within the nonprofit sector for both state and national organizations. Some of this quick reference information includes, oops, excuse me, sorry, I forgot that it's supposed to open into a new tab. Some of this quick reference information includes contact for organizations like the National Council of Nonprofits and the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. This is a helpful guide for navigating some of the institutions in the nonprofit sector. And then last, but certainly not least, well, second to last, excuse me, M&A has a considerable statewide following as well as growing online presence. So advertising or sponsorships with us is a great platform to broadcast your upcoming events, programming, or general opportunities. You can find more details about our specific packages by reviewing the options found on the Advertising and Sponsorship Opportunities page on the website, or information found in the Member Dashboard section after logging into your account. Now, the last thing that I would love to talk about with for your M&A benefits is our network of capacity building centers. This is another great connecting tool with information that gets you connected to other nonprofits that are serving the needs and capacity building for organizations locally and within their area. This feature provides more details about the 11 organizations or centers that provide said capacity building services. Through this collaboration, the Michigan nonprofit sector continues to grow healthier and stronger while helping organizations better serve their clients and achieve their missions. More information can be found under the Capacity Building Centers section of the, let me scroll up, of the Membership tab found here. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time to review your wonderful M&A benefits with us this afternoon. We do apologize for going over. Please feel free to reach out to us with any additional questions. We're happy to assist, and we hope that we get you onto the website logging in and utilizing your member benefits. Thanks so much for your time. If you'd like, this webinar will be posted under the webinar feature on our page here within a few hours. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day.